Thanks, Kareth. Natalie, this was a 21-point game at one point, and you got it down to 8 within the final minutes. What did you think about your team's fight?
Yeah, we came back. Obviously, in the third and the fourth, we came out with a different sense of urgency. We battled, but we need to start that way. So just, again, I got to figure out how to make sure that they battle for 4 quarters.
What do you think fell short in that first half and maybe that first quarter?
Yeah, our defense. We didn't have ball pressure. We didn't have physicality. We didn't meet them early. We didn't box out like we did, again, the things that we've kind of been harping on. We didn't start that until the second half.
How frustrating can a game like
I'm going to keep it real, y'all. Hearing Natalie say that, that's not the first time. And that's going to be something that's going to be consistent with what we hear in the post conference coming from the players and Nakase again. It sounds like somebody or some people fell asleep at the wheel. But we're going to talk about it. Yo, what up, Ballhalla? Welcome to the Valkyrie Report. If you're new to the channel or if you've been rocking with me, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on your notifications so you know anytime I'm dropping a new video or when I'm going live. So you guys just saw the clip. That was Natalie Nakase talking to my boy Matt Lively. Shout out to him. I didn't play the whole thing. If you want to see that, go hit up his his Twitter. It's Matt B Lively. He gets all the exclusive, candid interviews fresh off the court. So I definitely say go give him a follow. But this has been a recurring theme in what I saw in these post-game pressers coming up. And we're going to get into it for sure because I feel like it sounds like I said before, some people fell asleep at the wheel and Nakase is not happy. This is her talking about it again.
Maybe come up short.
Yeah, we started playing some defense. We did not play defense. In the first half, there was no ball pressure. We're late in the pick and roll.
So you see again, so I like when Matt gets those candid takes fresh off of the court because it's before they have a time to settle in and you get that fresh take. And sometimes that fresh take can vary between then and the press conference, but I mean she's staying true to form on this, and I got the stats right there.
We decided not to box out. We decided not to try to create any deflections and steals. It's really unfortunate because then they felt at ease.
Yeah, so the defense did absolutely nothing in the first half, and that basically gave the Lynx the green light to, okay, we can do this, we can do that, and we can attack the paint. If they come in and even attempt to double team us, which they barely even tried, it seemed like there was little to no effort, then that gives a level of comfort that you don't want to give a team like the Lynx.
They didn't feel tight at all. We didn't make them feel tight. I thought Ballhalla did. I thought Ballhalla actually...
Ballhalla had more energy than the players against a team that they've lost. So maybe it could be a morale thing. It could be a number of different things. I mean, and shout out to the Lynx. That's a hell of a team. So we want to give them their credit too.
Had more energy than us. So we just have to figure that out, what it takes. We can't get punched in the face first and respond.
Just a quick follow-up.
Yep.
What's the sentiment right now?
Yeah, they were fighting from behind the entire game. And we're going to talk about that too.
Encouraging. I mean, we didn't shoot well, but it's encouraging. I thought, finishing strong, I like the fact that we're able to, get downhill.
Yeah, and see, the thing about Nakase, I like about her is that she's always going to find the positive in anything. They just lost 7 straight times to the Lynx, but she's always going to find that silver lining. But as far as just players not showing up,
use something like this to say, okay, this is...
She speaks to that here.
We've been saying that. We say it. To me, it's like, why say that? Why say this is it?
Yeah, so I feel her on that, and I also feel the reporter, what he's asking is like, when do they feel like this is it? This is the moment. To me, I felt like that moment should have been last year in the playoffs when they were eliminated by them. They had a few bites at the apple without Nafisa Collier out there, and then now they're at full strength. So it's going to be the best versus the best. But I feel Nakase, it's like, why does this have to be the time? Why wasn't it the time before or even after the first loss to him in the regular season?
To me, I need to figure out how to push the players that didn't show up. I got to get into them. I got to have conversations with them.
So I got the stats right there so we can see who didn't show up, who did not show up. We got CC was ice cold, Gabby was ice cold, but I mean with CC, I don't make the news, I just report on it. But I've heard people say that if CC is not going in those first few minutes, we need to get her out of there. That's what I'm hearing. That's not. I do somewhat agree with that, but if Gabby is cold, she's still defensive minded. So we can't just take her out, right? Because she does more than just score.
More than, this is it. I understand kind of like the reality of the outside noise with it. But for me, I got to internally figure out my players. I can't blame the whole fact that we haven't, beat Minnesota. Like, I really got to do a better job of what I can pull from them, and especially our start. I'm just super frustrated with our
Yeah,
start. And,
those starts.
I have to.
You got to
again,
pounce on the
have
Lynx. No pun
conversations, and
intended.
I really hope over the next 48 hours before Chicago, they really open up and they tell me what they want.
Yeah, so like she said, when players aren't showing up, how can she get them motivated, right? But we can see right here, almost everybody didn't show up. I mean, Chin barely got in there. Kyla was 0 for 1. She was, yeah, I mean, but Kyla, she was the only plus on the team. Kayla Thornton 2 for 8, 1 for 4, 4 for 15, 3 for 15. I mean, this was just, I just don't understand how you come out there with just that lackluster energy, knowing what type of stakes are on the line. You got, forget the power rankings. We're talking about that #1 seed, right? That's going to put you in position to ride out home field advantage all the way through the playoffs. But it didn't just stop there. We also got Tip speaking on
Felt
that.
good. I liked it. I like the challenge. I mean, I didn't like getting down by that much, but I liked our fight at the end. I love how we fought. Like she said, we made a lot of mistakes, but at the end of the day, our fight was there the entire time. It's just about being intentional, and it's about doing the little things for 40 minutes, the whole game. So I enjoyed it. I know that was a playoff feeling type of game, and I really love those, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, and we hear that, we've heard this before, right? The playing the whole 40 minutes, whether it's tapering off in the third or tapering off late in the fourth. Like, Tip is a competitor, so like she said, she loves that type of game where it's scrappy and gritty. But it's a different feel when it's scrappy and gritty when you're down by 15, 20 points early in the game, right? Because then it's like you're just constantly trying to dig yourself out of the hole. So, she's a competitor, and shout out to Tip because she actually passed a milestone of 1,000 career assists against the Lynx. So that's something that, we want to definitely tip our hat to her. So yeah, good job, Tiffany Hayes. And she's been bringing it. I think she was like, her and Veronica Burton are the only people that Nakase even called out by name as actually showing up against the Lynx. So shout out to Tiff for that 1,000 assists.
I mean,
And then here's Veronica Burton
think
speaking about
there's
effort.
like a
And
mental
look, she's frustrated.
focus and a
You could tell.
competitiveness that needs to come out. And
VB is a competitor. If anybody is going to get going, that's going to get everybody back on track, it's going to be VB. Even Nakase said that VB was out there getting people in order. She was cracking the whip, calling people out. And you can see it right here. Like, she's frustrated, and rightfully so.
I mean, I think there's like a mental focus and a competitiveness that needs to come out. And yes, they hit some great shots, they hit some tough shots, but we can't afford to keep saying the same thing about our starts, and we need to come out.
Yeah, basically, it's just like, yeah, they came out, their shots was falling, but that's not an excuse, right? Like, we still have to do what we have to do. Like, if they hit 11 in a row, then we need to try to hit 10, 11 in a row, 12 in a row, or we need to be able to at least stay in the fight. Like, them making baskets is not an excuse for what we are not doing.
This is a really important game. We know that. And so we need to act like it when we come out and hold each other accountable. And we will, but it's just like a sense of urgency from before the game even starts, because we can't get down at 22 at one point and expect to win this game. So
Like, this is exactly like what Natalie was saying when she was talking to Matt and when she was in the post game presser. It sounds like some people fell asleep at the wheel. I'm just gonna. I know I keep saying that, but I mean, we can look at the stats right here, right? Like, Janelle Salon had 15 points. She went 50%. She was the only person that shot over 50%. Veronica Burton did what she does. Surprisingly, they lost, even though she had over 6 assists. But she's, that's a hell of a record. We're going to talk about her minutes in a minute as well. But I mean, look at this. I mean, is from what she's saying, were some people just were they just not focused even going in? Like, was
focus.
like, were they
and
just
competitiveness that needs
was
to
it just
come
like,
out.
let's
And
lay
yes,
it
they hit
down
some great
before the
shots,
game
they hit
even
some tough
started?
shots, but we can't afford to keep saying the same thing about our starts, and we need to come out. This is a really important game. We know that, and so we need to act like it when we come out and hold each other accountable. And we will, but it's just like a sense of urgency from before the game even starts, because we can't get down at 22 at one point and expect to win this game. So it's pouring into each other, pouring into the game from the get-go, because we're also setting up our second unit for a tough task when they come in.
Yeah,
So
bench mob.
we can't rely
Bench
on them
mob.
to just pick us up every
We can't
single game.
depend
We
on
gotta
bench
start the game
mob
strong.
every game to just save the day, to throw on the cape. Now, Veronica Burton has been carrying a heavy load in these past couple of games. So Natalie has been doing a pretty good job of keeping her minutes under, keeping them well regulated. But from what I've noticed, her minutes have gone back up again. So she's in the 30s again, which is never a good thing. We don't want to burn her out. I know we're getting a break coming up, but yet and still, we don't want to have her fatigued or have her at risk, for, injury, things like that. But shout out to Veronica Burton, but I would love to see her minutes go into the, the 20s again, because she's creeping on up again. But let's talk about, so Cece, I know I said something about her earlier, and the resentment, well, not, I didn't mean to say resentment. The thoughts that are going around Ballhalla is that if she does not get started early, then she needs to be pulled, because defensive effort, she's not really known for her defensive play, but she's a shooter and shoot. But if she can't get going quickly, then after the first, maybe mid first, then she might need to sit for a moment. As you can see from the game against the Lynx, 8 points, and it was, I want to say a bulk of those came in the fourth quarter when when they were fighting their way out of the hole. But 3 for 15, 1 for 9. Like, at some point, you have to realize that, okay, this is not my night. Let me go ahead and sit it down. Or that's for the coaching staff, because a shooter, they're gonna keep shooting, right? So shout out to CC, but some things got to change. And then Gabby didn't have the best night either. But like I said, on the defensive effort, she's definitely holding it down. Like, she's always, when she's out there, teams are thinking twice about, those go ahead passes, throwing it into the lane, or even trying to throw it, into the key, because she's so long. She can get, she can turn nothing into something. I've seen so many times where she'll hit a 3 and then come down and get a steal and then throw it back down for another points to give us a quick 5. But last night, 2 nights ago, it wasn't her. I was supposed to get this out yesterday, but I wanted to add some extra stuff to it. But again, 4 for 15 and 1 for 7 from 3. So her and Cece combined Yeah, so her and Cece combined, they went 7 for 30 from the field. 2 for 16. 2 for 16 from the 3-point line. So, you know, we don't really see these type of nights too often, but but they weren't alone. Like this is pretty much like what the Lynx were going up against. Like it 44%, 50%, okay, Tip did her thing, but we got 20%, 26, 20, 25, 25. And a lot of this had to do with the Lynx defense too. They weren't letting them really drive like that. They were forcing them to take these mid-range shots. They were making them feel uncomfortable, right? But regardless of that, you got to find ways to get to your spots. You got to find ways to get to your spots, or else things like this happen. Things like that happen. That just reeks confidence, arrogance. We're up 0-7 on you guys, 7-0 on you guys going back to your inaugural season. So these are the type of things that, it comes with the territory. This is what comes with the territory when you come out and you fall asleep behind the wheel on defense and you can't really get going on offense. But, it is what it is. They get one more bite at the apple in Minnesota next week. So hopefully something can hopefully this will be the one, because like I said, I was praying that we could get 2. If we get 1, then I don't want to go 8 against them headed into the playoffs, because then the momentum is all on them and they're going to have home court advantage. So, and at the end of the day, all roads is going to go through either Minnesota, the Aces, right? It is what it is. It's no secret, right? Hey, so either we're going to have to try to get over to something now, or it's going to have to be next season, right? Because this team will send us home, and they're confident that they can send us home. And you can see this is just crazy to me. But again, we gotta protect that paint. Gotta mix it up. Gotta get to the spots, right? Can't just let them attack the paint nonstop, because that's what they were doing in the first. I want to say like in the first couple of quarters. I think they're like first 16 points came from scoring in the paint, and then they started mixing it up. Then the middies came. Then the 3-pointers came. In that fourth quarter, when the Valks were fighting back, it looked like they were in striking distance, and they were. But then they started giving up easy baskets into the lane. Every time I turned around, it was some type of pick and roll or somebody slashing. It's just a quick, uncontested 2, and then we're coming down, ISO ball to the last second, getting a hard 2 points or not even scoring at all, and then letting them come down and get an easy shot again. Something's going to have to change, right? Because tonight we got the Chicago Sky, and Cardosa last game that she was in, she did pretty good. I'm not really too sure what's going on with those rotations over there. But she went for 20 points, 22. Yeah, she went for 20 points in 22 minutes. So she was very active in the paint, right? But I can't really remember off the top of my head if it was foul trouble, but she came back after that second half and she was doing her thing. Now, the game did get a little out of control by that mid-third quarter into the fourth. I was actually at that game. But again, that's a weakness. I know Stokes is down there. She is hell of a player on the defensive end, but if she's not in there, we're gonna need to get some help in there, because those are some big girls down there. Stevens and Cardoso are some big girls down there, and we're gonna have to bump with them. If not, then things like this can happen where it's 20 points in 22 minutes, right? So at the end of the day, what can we really say, right? Like 0-7 against the Lynx. It was a multitude of things. Like we heard what Nakase said. We heard what Burton said, right? They're singing the same song, just different verses. Effort, defensive, not having defensive lapses. Got to contest everything. And I said this in my video going into that this is a game that everybody has to show up. No one can sandbag. It's not one of those type of games, right? And from the sounds of it, everybody didn't bring 100%. Like I said, I don't make the news. I just report on it. We just heard it for ourselves. So Chicago is tonight. I got the Valkyries winning. I'll say by 6 points. Sydney Taylor is back. Cardosa, of course, is there. But yeah, I'm looking for a good game. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Let me know how you feel about that game. Actually, let's go see. Let's go back real quick. Because I did want to go see what the thoughts were around Twitter, because I had posted something myself asking, like, how did people feel about I was asking how did people feel about the loss and what did they think needed to change. So right here, and we could just see what some people were saying. So what do you think needs to change going forward? And we see, okay, coaching staff has to come up with a plan besides 3. Yeah, 3 was not falling at all. And there was no plan B. Came back way too late. Yep, VB burnt out. She's back up to 30-something minutes a game. A lot of open looks for miss. Refs take the Valks, but we can't put it in the refs' hands. Like Veronica Burton said, like, they still have to do what they have to do. Yeah, miss 4 at the rim. Finishing at the rim has been an issue. No real post-size player with no rebounds. Yeah, so, Stokes is doing the best she can. She was brought in as a backup. We all know the situation with Rupert. Their lack of offense is going to hurt them in the off. Yeah, but, if like I said, I don't care if we score 40 as long as they score 39. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case with the Lynx. Valks couldn't hit a shot in the first half. Yeah, they were cold. Attacked the paint. Yeah, but they were scared. They were playing scary ball by the third quarter. They finally got their confidence back in the fourth, but it is what it is. Yeah, they're a fun team. They need to learn how to cut. Yep, mostly from standing in the perimeter. I agree with that. So yeah, that's the word around Twitter and how they're feeling. But yeah, tonight is the sky. So let me know what you guys think. Until next time, hit that like button, hit that share, and I'll be live tweeting tonight.
Thanks, Kareth. Natalie, this was a 21-point game at one point, and you got it down to 8 within the final minutes. What did you think about your team's fight?
Yeah, we came back. Obviously, in the third and the fourth, we came out with a different sense of urgency. We battled, but we need to start that way.